Hello there, Dr. Lepora here. I hope that you are safe and you are well. Today we're going to talk about how to increase the change maturity of your organization. It's a very exciting day because we're continuing our 4-part series of transformational change. This is still obviously a very monumental time for the entire world. The entire world is going through a major transformation. We've kicked off our 4-part series with part 1, individual transition change. Part 2, we address the steps that are needed in order to develop an effective change leadership strategy. And thirdly, we address the 10 pitfalls that you need to avoid to successfully lead change. And lastly, now we're addressing ways to increase change maturity throughout your organization. ProSci has developed a change maturity model. This model illustrates what change maturity looks like at various levels. There are structural efforts that an organization should make to increase the organization's change maturity level. These are evidenced on a high level in this change maturity model that has been developed by ProSci. However, today we're going to talk about those foundational changes that will make such structural change maturity possible. So for one, if your organization wants to increase its change maturity, you should first focus on building a culture of continuous learning. Now, how do you do that? You ensure that learning is valued at every level of your organization. There's a recognition, if not reward, placed on individuals' learning. Individuals are encouraged, if not required, to learn best practices for their respective roles and areas of work. The standard that the American Society of Training and Development has set is 40 hours on average per year of learning per employee and team member. They would suggest that organizations with a continuous learning approach often train their employees, their team members, at least 40 hours per year. So beyond tactical ways to measure continuous learning is also recognized by a culture of openness and flexibility. In an organization dedicated to continuous learning, you will not hear, well, that's how we've always done it, so that's how we're going to do it. Or if it's not broke, there's no need to fix it. What you will hear is an eagerness to learn more. You will see an acceptance that things can always be better. You will see a habit of curiosity and even humility. Organizations of continuous learning understand that good is the enemy of great and that there are no perfect organizations. Therefore, there's always room for improvement. So they are consistently dedicated to learning those ways to improve. Another way to work on the foundation of change maturity is to allow risks. Change requires risk. Transformation requires even more risk. As we discussed in the last video, transformational change means doing something new. When we do something new, we are facing the unknown, a lack of predictability. If healthy and calculated risk is discouraged in your organization, then so is change. You cannot make a change happen without taking risk. In accord, you must practice forgiveness of mistakes in an organization to increase the change maturity of your organization. If your organization is not forgiving of mistakes, then your employees will be sure to do things as they have always done them. They will not take the risk because it will not be worth it for them. They will not veer outside of the safe and predictable rails that have been placed, and therefore they will shun change. When your organization is forgiving of mistakes, then your organization's members and staff will be more comfortable to take risks that they believe are in the best interest of the organization. And lastly, the next way to increase change maturity is to educate your organization regarding how transformational change efforts should be managed and led effectively. Sure, there are differences in change efforts. However, there are rigorous practices and methodologies that should be followed. There are components of change management that should be understood at every level of your organization. What your individual contributor needs to know may be different on a level from what your change agent needs to know, which is different from what your CEO needs to know. However, there is change education that is needed on every level. If you know a colleague or a friend with whom may benefit from this information, please don't hesitate to share through email or social media. To learn more about how to bring a change certification training program to your organization, feel free to click the link and reach out. Or to simply schedule the appropriate level change class for your organization, you can click the respective link. And also, don't hesitate to reach out if you would like an exploratory session with me regarding coaching for leadership or specifically making transformational change happen at your organization. I hope you well, wish you well on your transformational journey, and have a wonderful day.